Man, you had a long weekend and it's Monday already. Coffee is definitely needed to give you hope and help to face this world full of chaos. Well, so am I. Welcome to Coffee Time with V. Latisse, providing you with some inspiration or just a positive word to boost or jumpstart your day.
Hey fam, how are you? I hope you are having a great day so far. Welcome to Coffee Time with V. Latisse. I am your host V, and I am super excited to have you today. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about a subject that is, I guess you would say, not really talked about. It is sometimes talked about in our community, but it is not something that we dwell on for a long period of time. So today, I want to talk about grief and giving yourself permission to grieve and go through the process of grieving. In a matter of a few months, I have lost two very dear people to me, and the process of grief has been so real. You don't realize it sometimes what it is until you sit back and you think about it, or you sit back and like really hone in on your feelings and what's going on in that time process. And so not too long ago, I had a moment where I was feeling the grief, but I didn't want to acknowledge it. And so I had a very close friend of mine to let me know or guide me through the process of what I was feeling. And so I wanted to just kind of, I guess, give you some encouragement and let you know that it's okay to go through the process of grieving. You never have a time period or a cutoff time to when you can, I guess, stop grieving. It will come on you like a ton of bricks, and all you got to do is just let the process take over, but not allowing the grief to overtake you. I know that's a tongue twister, but you have to acknowledge your grief, but you also can't stay in it because it can form into other things like depression and anxiety. And we don't really want that for our lives at this time or stage in our lives. It's okay to grieve, but it's not okay to allow it to spiral into other things. And I hope that in this process, as I'm going through it, as you potentially could be going through it, that you of course have the right people around you, but give yourself that permission, that time, that space to feel what you feel, because it's real. Grief is a real thing. It's not a fake thing. It happens unexpectedly. You could have a good day one day, and the next day you're super sad, super emotional, super upset, or you think of a memory of your loved one, and it's like, boom, it just hits. And so give your time, give yourself that space, give yourself that permission to go through your grief. Sometimes in the process of your grief, you have to learn new ways of living. That may include more self-care, learning a new language, starting a podcast, whatever it could be, attending a therapy session, whatever. You just have to push through the process. No, it's not always pretty. Like, you get so engulfed with the planning process of making sure your loved one's affairs are taken care of, or making sure the funeral service is exactly the way they had wished it to be, and the phone call stop, and everything just hits you all at once. Like, this is my new way of life, and that sometimes is a process in itself. I remember when my grandmother died, I had already took on a order. I'm a balloon artist, and so I couldn't cancel on the people. I had to kind of suck it up and do what I needed to do. And the whole time during my during the setup, I cried a couple times. I kept saying like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I should have just gave them their money back. But in the end, of course, it was a beautiful setup, but I was just like, man, like I really had to tap into my strength because I didn't have it. I didn't have it at the time. And it's amazing how just that strength that I was able to push through and do what I needed to do. Even as an event coordinator, I had to implement better management skills. And at the same time, being a business owner, I wanted to stop working altogether because I knew that my heart wasn't in the job. I had to remember in that process that they aren't sick anymore, they aren't hurting anymore, and that they're with the Father. And they wouldn't want me to stop working. So I had to put my big girl pants on and push through. You have to remember that you don't get over grief by forgetting. You have to move through grief by remembering all the good times, and it will help soothe your heart in the moment.
Thank you for tuning in to Coffee Time with V. Latisse. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on IG, and like us on Facebook. Until next time.